What's up, everybody? How we doing? Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Boxing Monster in the chat. What's up? Salute. I'm just gonna go live for I think probably like an hour. Then I gotta go do stuff. But I was just gonna host right now, because El Jefe just ended. So, I mean, I think he ended early or something. He had to do something. But no, I'm just gonna be here for a little bit. If anyone wants to join in, I'll drop a link right now. How we doing today? I got April Fools. I got tricked. I got tricked this morning, to be honest. I saw a video. Yo, UGC, what's up, man? I got tricked. I saw Canelo versus Charlo confirmed, and I got excited. And then 2 minutes in, he's like, April Fools. I totally forgot what today was. Very unlucky on my part. Yeah, thank you guys for coming out and supporting. Ken Smoke, what's up? Lisa Bales, UGC in the chat. Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, what up? I finally caught one.
Yeah, it took me a second, sorry.
No, that's all good, man. Like, I'm just glad I was able to finally catch one, because my feed, just like everybody else, my feed is not the most up to date. Like, I missed Advanced Sporting's live yesterday, and I missed every live you've done. I think you've done like 2 or 3. So I'm glad I finally caught one.
Yeah, I did my second one yesterday.
That's what's up. Like, I have yet to do a live, so you're ahead of me when it comes to that.
Yeah, it's fun. I really like it, and I like I'm pretty good at moderating the chat, I think. But yo, what's up, man? How we doing?
What's up, IBT? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
So Red?
What up, Black?
Back-to-back lives, huh?
Yeah, I guess that's what we're doing here.
It gets to be addictive. This is my 3rd one today.
Oh, your 3rd. All right, you ahead of me.
Yeah,
then.
same.
Sure.
Hey, I was on yours first though, Black.
Yeah.
First
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure I hit that like button, man. Keep supporting IBT.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, IBT, you show a lot of promise. Like, you seem to really be a student of the game, and I definitely respect that, you know.
Thanks. I guess I'm just watching and learning, you know.
Hey, that's how we all start. I still watch and learn.
Yep.
You know, like it's a everyday process. So I'm going through it just like you are. You know, there's iron sharpens iron. So like that's why I like jumping on lives with dudes like you, Black, ILTBA, D Jefferson, all these guys. They're gonna make you sharper than you were before.
Hey, Red, I like the fact that a lot of these new channels too, they figuring it out, man. They editing, they running the live streams and having people join the panel, and I think that's how they're gonna grow faster. You know, a lot more people gonna know who they are just because of the people that they interact with, and that's how they go. That's how they go.
Exactly. Looks like IBT backed out.
Yeah, we took over, man. It's a UGC takeover. So, like you said, man, hit the like button. Shout out to IBT coming back.
Yeah,
that was my bad. I'm gonna be mute for a second though. My bad. We were just talking about boxing fanboys before we closed the other stream. So, who do you guys think is boxing's biggest fanboys?
Boxing, it's gotta be Wilder's shit. Wilder's fans.
Well, I still stand, like, as far as like who's the worst. I think all fanboys are equally as bad. However, the ones who are showing out the most right now are definitely the Wilder fanboys, the ones who thought this man was invincible, the ones who said that this was, they said that this was a great fight, that this was a top tier fight. So it was a top tier fight. Why is it so difficult to believe that he lost?
I'm hearing some people say that the third fight might not happen. I'm like,
I think it will. I think it might not happen right away because of all this. For the same reason no fights are happening right now. But I think it will. Unless Wilder. The only way I see it not happening is I think if Wilder, he really thinks about it and says to himself that there's no way he could beat Fury. I think then he'll back out. But other
hey
than
man,
that,
step aside money, bro. Just do it. Take the step aside money. Let the undisputed fight happen, and you get the fucking winner. Like,
yeah,
that's you getting 2 checks, nigga. One to sit down and watch a fight, and then you can get in there and see if you can be the top dog. Supremacy, undisputed. It's a no-brainer
yeah,
to me, bro. Like any intelligent trainer or advisor will say, look, man, this is the best move we can make. Take this step aside, and then we're gonna get better. We're gonna work on some shit, and then next thing you know, we're gonna be back at it. We're gonna be back on top. We're gonna be ready. And the thing about it is, I'm not even counting out AJ because AJ could go out there and shock the world and just spark out Fury. Who knows? And that could be the mega fight that everybody was waiting on anyway. Wilder versus AJ.
yep, yeah. I definitely think AJ has a chance of beating Fury. I think that's a true 50-50 fight. Um, and I just want to see it so we finally have undisputed. I don't. AJ's my guy, but I don't care even if Fury wins, because I'm just tired of who's the best guy. Well, it could be this guy or it could be that guy. Like in some cases, there's 3 other guys who could be the best guy. And if you throw in guys who don't have belts yet, who probably should have one, then you got like 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 possible best guys. So we need to consolidate this shit, and yeah, I just want it to happen.
Yep. Yeah.
And I
I
think,
just think that yeah, this guy need to just make a smart decision, man.
yeah,
Stay away
and
from that
get this,
Fury work right now.
yeah, and get the smoke. He actually told me he left me a comment saying that it's been like something like 6,000 days since we had undisputed champion. I don't know how true that is, but I believe, it wouldn't shock me if it was, because it seems like it's been forever.
Yeah.
And that is a heavyweight. Of course, we've had undisputed in other weights.
Yeah, man. I mean, either way, too, no matter what happens between the Fury Wilder or uh, Fury AJ, Dylan White is still a factor in the situation.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's
Like,
what a lot of people don't even like, Red. It's like after all that shit that they didn't talk about this dude and this, that, and the other, the facts remain. Wilder got a loss, Dylan White got a loss. Like, and the guy right now is in a top position to face the motherfucking either WBC champion or the undisputed champion, whoever ends up with the belts. He's in position right now to face him. So, hey, he might still lose to the top dog, but the motherfucker is still there. And you got to deal with him. This dude is not taking light touches. You about to get in there face Povetkin just off the strength of like, nigga, this is what I do. I fight top contenders. He does what a champion is supposed to do. He's fighting the top fighters in this division. And then we seen how Wilder avoided top competition. And when he got in there with a top dude, he got knocked off. His syrup came out his ear. And then y'all went and got young Pseudo, and the shit went left. So it is what it is. Y'all
We're
let
talking
young
about
Pseudo
Wilder
go.
right now.
Right. Yeah, him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only reason I say, and I mean, I think every big fighter has fanboys and stuff, but I think he had the biggest fanboys just because these dudes, you know, they're saying that they can't lose, and even when he lost, they're saying he can't lose. So that's the only reason why I said Wilder. But not to say that not every fighter has fanboys, because for sure every fighter has big fanboys. You know.
Well, his was extraordinary, man, because they literally made this dude into a deity, like Niggatron, for real. Like they made him into this, um, like he was a god or something. And when they seen their deity malfunction, you seen the reaction. It was just like, man, this is some historical shit right here, man. In the history of boxing, this will be always remembered. The reaction of the Deontay Wilder loss.
Yeah, definitely. Like I feel like there were so many excuses that came out for him. He didn't even make them. He made a couple, and then they added like 12. You know.
Man, dude. Hey, at this point, dude, it's like it's really amazing situation with this guy. But at the end of the day, that's why like with your topic, man, you talking about these fanboys. It's like it's not even worth being a fanboy because when you are a fanboy and your fighter eventually loses, because it's gonna happen, your favorite fighter is
Yeah.
gonna eventually lose. And when it happens, are you prepared for your reaction to that loss? Because you see a lot of these people, man, you just tell they put their goddamn life behind these people, these fighters. And when they take a loss, man, they ready to motherfucking march to Washington D.C. And do whatever in these streets because they hurt, their feelings is hurt, and they pride is broken and shit. So hey, this fanboy shit, man, is it can become dangerous for you.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's fine to be a fan of a fighter, but when you start making excuses for them, that's how you know. You know.
Yeah, you could be a fan, but the fanboy shit where you act like you don't see clear as day somebody just got their ass whooped or and then you know the truth but you want to create a conspiracy to fit a lie. It's just look, man, that's why we just got to watch boxing and just respect the sport because whoever can box the best, you know, is the one that's going to typically get their hand raised. And that's all that happened with the Wilder fanboys. Like, y'all, Deontay Wilder, he just not a really great fighter, man. That's it. And you
Yeah.
seen that when he got in there with Fury, that Fury is an elite fighter. And Deontay Wilder is just not. And that's your hardest thing to accept. What was already in your face when he told you, like, I'm not really about this boxing shit. I'm just really about knocking motherfuckers out, catching them at some point.
Yeah.
And that's not
And
boxing, man.
and that's what they always say. Like the big punchers or the guys who have a big heart. You know, it's not enough. You have to have a big heart and skill and technique because one day you're gonna run into someone that has that heart and the technique, and then you're gonna be screwed because all you got is heart.
And you know what sucks is that somebody like a Wilder and his fans think like that's some respectable shit to say, hey man, just let me go out on my shield. If you know clearly, man, you got in a guy who's way superior to you and you just getting your face beat on. You got your beautiful wife watching you. You got fans watching you. The whole goddamn Black History Month nation watching your ass live on pay-per-view. You're getting just blazed out in there. Like, that's not intelligent to say, let me go out on my shield and this, that, and the other. Nah, man. Accept the fact that, you know what? I ain't good at this shit. And I need to just, nigga, live to go back to the gym so that I can fix
Yeah.
this error. And I know I got a rematch clause and I'm going to be better on the next one. But I know without a doubt that I kind of suck at this shit at this point. You got to just be real. Like, you in there getting blazed out. You like, yo, man, I'm kind of trash, bro, for real.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
ain't even this ain't even a joke no more, man. Fuck this spacesuit shit. My shit is leaking.
being delusional isn't gonna fix the problem. Realizing when you're outmatched, and then going back to the drawing board, seeing what you can do differently. It doesn't guarantee you that you're gonna win, but like there was no way he was gonna win that fight. He said he had no legs. He got knocked down twice and lost every round. Mathematically, he couldn't even if he won every round after that, he wasn't gonna win the fight. It was a losing battle.
It was a massacre.
And honestly, at
Exactly.
that point in the fight, I don't even think he had a puncher's chance because he'd just been so drained and beat up and pushed around that I don't even think he could have mustered that power, you know?
Yeah,
Mustard, ketchup. He was a hot dog in there getting ate out.
in
Pause.
in sports like basketball and baseball where they have the the a series of games after if one team wins a certain amount of games they don't play the rest of the games, they stop because they've already won the super series or March Madness or whatever.
Yeah, the only
It,
qualifier or whatever.
exactly, so it's kind of the same thing. He was 7 rounds in the hole with 2 less points because of the knockdown, and he only had what was it, 5 more rounds to go. There was no way he could pull it off with
So
no legs.
I have no legs. Hey, so Red and IBT, who's the next step down from that, from the Wilder? So the Wilder is the most just delusional.
Yeah,
Who's the
I think
next?
delusional. Somebody was saying in the other chat, because there's a couple people I think could fit here. I think there's a lot of Spence fanboys, there's a lot of Lomachenko fanboys, a lot of
I don't
Tank
think.
fanboys.
See, but look, when you talk about guys like Lomachenko, they can be justified to be fanboys. The motherfucker can fight. He can
No, no,
fight.
yeah. What I'm saying
So,
with fanboys is they're like, oh, he can go up and beat Spence and Crawford or Pacquiao. And I'm like,
oh
what are you
wow,
talking about?
that's
Yeah,
delusional.
yeah,
I
like
didn't
that
know they
kind of
was on that.
fanboy. Like, I don't mean fans, I mean fanboys. Like, I don't mind Wilder fans or Spence fans. I don't
Mm,
like fanboys, you know?
right. But it'd be
Like,
certain
how's he gonna go?
fighters where the fanboys be just way off the top with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Wilder, Spence, and then yeah, I don't know. From that point, step down from there. But yeah, you're right about the Spence fans too. Boy, I mean,
Yeah.
the nigga, he can lose all his teeth. They gonna still ride for that man down.
Yeah, and it's to the point where they won't even criticize his lifestyle decisions. Like they're perfectly fine with him going and drinking and driving. You know, they're like, let
Yeah.
that man. They're like, let that man live. And it's just like, okay, damn well if it was any normal person who was doing that shit, you wouldn't be saying that. But because it's this guy, and you fall in
Right.
love with him
Bias.
for some
Yeah.
reason, it's okay for him to do shit that you're not
But
cool with
look,
anybody
it's
else
just
doing.
crazy, Red, because that same shit they flame Kovalev for, always drinking and hitting females. And then we seen certain fighters on the PBC side drinking alcohol, hitting females. And they just like, nah, man, see, what happened was, then they got the excuses and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Come
yeah.
on, bro. You
I
gotta
don't
keep the
excuse
same
any of that
energy.
behavior. Yeah, exactly. You gotta keep the same energy. I think what Kovalev did was terrible. I think what Spence did was very stupid. I think what Tank did is awful. I don't really like what Tank's doing, like how he's presenting himself, you know. So I don't mean to be biased against him, but sometimes if I talk about his outside life negatively, it's for reasons because he's not living the athletic life. He's not living the, you know, he's an icon, or
Right.
people are looking up to him, or there's people who are eyes are on him, or they want to be like him. Whether or not it's not me, right? But there's people out there who want to be like him, probably kids, like his fighting. They see him knock out and they see he becomes a star, but that's not what you box for. You don't box to become a star.
And then
But that's
watch, like, what's gonna happen, IBT? Like, you gonna flame like his the lifestyles and shit like that, right? They gonna say, oh, you hating, you
yeah,
just
yeah,
want the lifestyle. And then what's gonna happen is while they being delusional and hating, when that motherfucker lose, then all that shit gonna be like, man, get your bitch ass out of here. Like, you just
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
following the proper signs to tell you he was gonna lose. That loss was coming, and this is why this shit was getting ready to show you because he doing this, he doing that, he not dedicating himself. And they be like, oh, you just hating until you get that ass whooped. Until you get that ass whooped, and you motherfuckers in the background hitting the like
Hey,
button,
I
dislike button.
I got one. The tribal fanboys, not of a particular fighter. They're just fans of fighters based off of their skin color and where they're from,
yeah,
or maybe
Color
not even
codes.
that, but because they're with yeah, they are cold. Or PVC, fanboys of the PVC. Recently, there's a dude that I'm subscribed to. He posted a video asking a question. Um, why uh why do you criticize Al Heyman? I left a comment, and this guy's cool. He's not pro Al Heyman. He just thought he would pose that question. So I put a comment, and somebody else is like coming at me just because I answered the question that this guy asked. And, you know, and I said something about, you know, the lack of unifications, you know, blocking a lot of fights that we want to see. This guy tried to tell me that they give us more unifications than anybody else and all this stuff. And when I rebutted him, I'm like, 2 unifications in the welterweight division in 5 years. That's unacceptable. He didn't like that. And he started telling me, he asked me a question. I forget what it was. And he's like, I'll wait. And I'm like, this guy asked the question. I answered it. And now you're coming at me like I'm talking about your mama. He hasn't replied since. And I think that's because you can't argue with that logic. You're over here getting bent out of shape over a bunch of dudes you don't know, and they don't know who you are. And I think it's pretty fucking pathetic.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't get it when people want to defend a specific, like, oh, you know, we got to protect Al Heyman, or, you know, oh, Eddie Hearn, I like Eddie Hearn. It's like, why are you liking promoters? Why are you doing, like, you can give them credit, and you can say that they've done a good job, but I don't get why you have to go out and, like, advocate for them, you know? I'm never going to be, oh, you know, Al Heyman, I hate that guy. I don't know Al Heyman. I just don't agree with his choices sometimes, you know? I don't think he wants boxing's best fights. I think he wants PBC's best fights. And obviously he does because he works for PBC, and that's the sucky part. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go guns-ho against him or for him, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, when you put Mr. DAZN in your name, like,
Hell no. Yeah,
how
see,
much
that dude's
more
like,
of a fanboy can you be?
Right.
Yeah. How can you talk boxing and then you got a profile picture of Eddie Hearn and Mr. DAZN and H Money? It's like, why are you obsessed with this dude, you know?
That's how it go, man. But that's another obsession right there. A lot of people just fanboys or promoters. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
definitely.
They just like what they doing, or they like their character, or I'm sure there's some Bob Arum fanboys out there. Anything you say against Top Rank, they'll probably want to fuck you up. Never know.
I know of a couple of them. You know, and don't get me wrong, it's okay to like what a promoter is doing.
Yeah.
But if it comes to a point if it comes to a point where that promoter does something that is not good for the sport, you shouldn't overlook it. You know, you speak your opinion on it. Like, and the thing is that gets you in trouble a lot with, you know, if you have a channel and you got subscribers, they're so used to you talking up somebody. And then when they do something that you don't like and you speak out on it, now they want to be like Jamal. Oh, why'd you switch up on him? No, I didn't switch up on him. He switched up on me.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like you got it twisted. You thought I was a fan of the man. I was a fan of what he was doing, but now he's moving differently, and I don't like it. That shit happened to me when Triple G fought Kell Brook. I put out a video saying this fight doesn't make no sense. And I was disappointed in Triple G, and I had a bunch of subscribers who had a problem with that. And it's like, if you thought I was a fanboy channel, you had me severely fucked up.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. That's crazy though, man. It just, you know, it's just like in certain fights that you might want to see. Like, I'll say, for instance, with this Canelo shit, man. Like, I got a fucking revelation the other day. I really thought Canelo was his own boss. You know, like, they can think that you're not a fan of somebody because you might flame a certain fight that you don't want to see, and that fighter might be attached to it. But like, I thought this dude was in control of his career, like, call his shots, pick opponents. But no, a motherfucker, the zone is running that shit. So
Yeah, right now it's a push and pull between him and DAZN, and it makes sense because they want their money, and he wants to fight who he wants. So they gotta compromise sometimes, and that's when you can kind of see the fights that maybe people don't want, but they're big money fights. And I don't mind criticizing that, but you know, you gotta keep the same energy with other fighters as well. That's like my main thing.
yeah,
Not you specifically, but people. I mean you.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I understand people wanting the bigger fights, I don't have a problem with that. My problem is when you get the bigger fight that you wanted, but you still don't want that other fight that was supposed to happen originally to pop off, and that happens a lot. You
Yeah.
know, it, and a lot of times it's the same people who claim that they're for undisputed, but then they're okay with Errol Spence fighting Mikey Garcia, who didn't have a belt, over fighting Terrence Crawford. It's like, wait a
Yeah,
minute,
yeah,
you said you were for undisputed,
Hmm.
and to me that wasn't a big money fight. Don't get me wrong, it made money. And I would even be able to accept it if the next fight was against Bud. I mean, don't get me wrong, the next one was a title fight, so I'll give him that credit. But what is the fight that everybody really wanted to see? Was it Arrow versus Porter, or was it Arrow versus Bud?
yeah,
I think we all know the answer to that question.
Right.
And people defended it and defended it. Well, now we don't know when or if that fight's ever going to happen because of the car crash, and then look at this coronavirus shit. You don't know what
yeah, yeah.
tomorrow brings. Why can't we get the fights when we know they can happen?
Right.
And
And
that's
that's
the
what
worst
happens,
part to
bro.
me.
They hate it when you want to push for it and say, "Yo, man, we want to push for this fight right now." Then other people coming away say, "No, man, you gotta let it build up, let it marinate, let it marinate." Then niggas get their teeth knocked out. Be like, "See, with all that marinating shit, now you got to marinate some Orgeat on your shit." I mean, the dumb shit.
Yeah, and
I
that's
like
the
that,
kind of
Black.
thing.
I got that from Rocky. That's Rocky strike shit. Got to learn from the masters out here with this shit.
You just gotta be the fighters. You know what they say. You have to hold them accountable. And for Canelo, I feel if he doesn't unify 160, if he doesn't try to become undisputed, you have to flame him for that because he said, "I want to become undisputed at 160," right? So if after he fights Triple G, he starts messing around again and dropping belts and picking him up, then it's gonna be like, well, why didn't you fight Andre? Or why didn't you fight the other belt holder? Whoever holds the other piece of the crown. And that's kind of with the same thing with Spence, where you said it's strap season, and then he's fighting Mike Garcia and he's fighting Porter, and I thought that was a fine fight. But like you said, we all want to see Spence Crawford, and they told Crawford to get a belt if he wants to fight, and he got a belt, and now they don't want to fight. So I don't know what the reasoning is, and that's kind of like where I'm at for unification. I just have to have the fighters be consistent with what they say.
My bad. I'm over here doing other things. I didn't realize Black dropped off.
Oh yeah, I don't know what happened. Maybe he just wanted to leave or he disconnected. It dropped a link in case, but yeah. So that's just my main thoughts on that. Do you think Spence could beat Crawford, or who do you have in that fight?
I mean, I picked Crawford to beat Spence, but I mean, I think you'd have to be a fool to say that Spence has no chance. I think Spence definitely has a good chance of beating Crawford as well. It's just I think that when it happens, I think Crawford is going to be the one who wins, or if it happens, I should say. Especially now. I mean, there's no way that the car crash helped his health. The best that
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like the best that we could hope for is that he's around the same condition he was before the car crash.
yeah,
But if it had any effect on his health, it's going to be a negative effect, not a positive one. So especially now, even before that though, I had Bud winning. It's just I would have to give him even more of a chance now, because I mean going that fast, flipping a car where you had the top, you had the top down. I mean that's just a recipe for disaster, and he's blessed that he's not paralyzed or dead, and he's
yeah.
and
Seriously.
he's and he's equally blessed that he didn't kill anybody else because I don't, if he would have killed somebody, I'm pretty sure his career would be over.
Yeah,
He'd
I don't
be,
think it's as forgivable.
yeah, I think he would be like Ike Iabuche. He went to prison. I mean, it's different circumstances, but still, he went to prison on his come up. and Spence is past his come up point, but there's still work to do, and
Yeah.
in the in the context of boxing, he's still relatively young. So
Yeah,
he
he's
could,
like 29 or 30, right?
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he's 29 years old right now.
Yeah.
Which in my opinion is young for the sport of boxing, but it's too old to be doing stupid shit
Yeah,
like that.
exactly.
It's different if he was like, let's say he had a motorcycle and he was riding on the motorcycle. Um, me personally, I think if you're a boxer, you should stay away from motorcycles. But I understand some of these guys that's one of the reasons why they got into boxing is because they want to be able to buy the type of motorcycle they want to buy. So I kind of get it. But had he been on a motorcycle and somebody rear-ended him, it would be completely different. But we're talking about somebody who drove drunk and not wearing their seatbelt. Now, luckily for his particular situation, that's actually what saved his life, because had he been strapped into that car, there's a good chance he would have been injured or even killed. I think that did save him in this particular instance. But in most cases, that seatbelt's going to save you.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's too. My point is, he's too old to be making these kinds of mistakes.
Yeah,
but
he's an adult. He should be, responsible of himself and others, not going out partying, getting wasted, flipping cars. It's like nobody should be doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and me, when I was his age, I was going clubbing, I was going partying. But here's the thing: my rules was always never to get shit faced unless
Yeah.
one, I was at home, or two, if I was out in public, I wasn't going to be driving, and two, I had to have people around me that I trusted. Because even if there was a designated driver, if I didn't really know you that well, I wasn't going to get shit faced. I was going to get buzzed and have a good time, and that's it. And it's probably been a good 9 years since the last time I got shit faced like that.
I don't mean he can't go out and enjoy himself, but he has to keep in mind he's an athlete, and you especially can't be going out like that, like you're saying, just getting completely wasted and then driving fast. I don't think that's nobody wants to see that. He can still enjoy himself, but he shouldn't be going overboard with it.
IBT, I got a quick question for you, because we've been on here for a little while and I just been flying at the mouth, and I want to give you your proper respect. Do you mind my language, or would you rather?
No, you're good, man. You're good. I don't mind at all.
No, it's just I know certain people want to keep a certain level of there's one guy that I go on his live from time to time. He says to keep it PG-13, and then I know Iron Kong also doesn't want profanity on his live. So
as long as it's not overboard or disrespectful. Like if you're saying to other people, then maybe I would be like, chill. But you're good. It's just casual talk right now. Did you have any closing thoughts? Because I think D's live, everyone's over there, and this was gonna be a short live anyways. I enjoyed our little talk though, and I agree with everything you said.
Definitely. And even if you didn't agree with something I said, it would still be cool, because you're not over here calling me a fanboy for it.
Yeah, nobody's screaming at you and calling you casual.
Yeah, so my closing thoughts, I like what you're doing. Keep doing it. My advice to you, if you can, I understand, we all got life, but if you can, do your best to upload at least a video a day. Take a day off here and there, but I think that'll help you to grow. And you're very promising, and I respect. At one point I was in the same place you were, and I know it can be. I know, people don't take that into new to this. It can be.
What's up? You kind of cut off a little
Sorry, a
bit
call
there.
came in. Sorry, a call
That's
came
fine.
in.
Fine.
But it can be challenging, you know, just because you basically have to talk to yourself a lot of times. So, but yeah, those are my those are my closing thoughts. And everybody subscribe and hit that like button.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And we're probably going to be moving over to G. Jefferson's Speak Your Mind Sports channel right now. I got food anyway, so I enjoyed our little talk. And like you said, even if we didn't agree, which we did though, it would be fine because it's a civil conversation.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I'll see you over there at D's. Peace.
All right, peace, everyone.